The state of our city is hopeful. There are so many things that are about to happen in Amarillo. All the training's been done, everything's been laid in place, and we're just waiting for that gate to drop and that bell to ring, and we're going to take off like a racehorse.
In 2017, Amarillo is a united community, willing to get things done. And city leaders are actively improving 6 pillars of civic strength that will change the state of our city. Streets and beautification, public safety, fiscal responsibility, jobs and education, customer service, communication and civic participation. And the voters have made it clear that streets and beautification are a top priority. At the moment, road construction in town and along I-40 is a major issue. 12 bridges along I-40 in Amarillo have been deemed unsafe for heavy, oversized loads. Over the next couple of years, TxDOT will replace those bridges.
That kind of took away our option of being able to spread these out over 10 or 15 years, because until all 12 of these bridges are replaced, we have no way to route oversized, overweight traffic east-west through Amarillo. And time again, we have proven that we have a significant cost savings to the taxpayers of Texas when we bundle these projects together. Yeah, this is unprecedented, the amount of construction that we have both going on right now and planned. And that construction is going to continue at a fairly rapid pace.
TxDOT recently implemented a milestone system that rewards road construction contractors who complete projects ahead of schedule, but they're penalized by up to $10,000 a day for exceeding the deadline.
You're seeing a good example right here with the Bell Street overpass, where we're going to have a bridge that was completed in about 3 months from beginning to end. Amarillo's my home. I have the same needs as you have and the same desires and sometimes the same frustrations with dealing with traffic delays and things like that. So I do feel passionate about, trying to work with our local partners and with the citizens to try to solve those problems together and to look forward to the bright future we have here in Amarillo.
And a new program is underway to repair and improve city streets.
Now then, we're beginning a plan, and we will walk down through that plan from the worst to the least until we have everything where it needs to be. So we make sure that we're taking care of everybody in all parts of town.
So it doesn't matter where you live, who's your next door neighbor, or who your favorite council member is. Everything is going to be driven by data.
New beautification programs are underway.
City Council just passed the fact that we have approved 4 additional mowings for TxDOT to take care of I-27, I-40.
It's important to note that that's in addition to the 3 cycles that TxDOT already funds and pays for in this area.
The city has implemented a new bulk trash program. The old practice of placing bulk trash alongside dumpsters has changed.
The system that we were running in the past was a system that we've been running through years with no changes to the operation, no additions to the operation. It took us 6 months, and I've heard from citizens loud and clear that is way too long to pick up their trash. That's why we're going to a curbside service.
And we have a hotline where you can call, and within 24 hours, if they move it to their front curb, we will come pick it up.
Or asking citizens if they can and to take items to the landfill.
2 of the priorities that the voters spoke loud and clear was fix our streets and be sure that our neighborhoods are safe. We have addressed both of those issues in the 2017-2018 budget.
We gave the police officers a raise because it's a competitive field out there.
And we're looking not only at just the dollars, but also what are the goals, what are the priorities within each department, and do those match up to what we as a city and a city council have identified as our priorities?
Over the next 1 or 2 years, our priority is to bring down our crime rate, bring down our traffic crashes, including our traffic fatalities, bring down our domestic violence rate. So some of the things that we're doing to just make Amarillo a safer community overall is we've implemented neighborhood police officer program. We've got officers now in 5 neighborhoods. They've got boots on the ground, as I like to say, in those neighborhoods. Their office space is in with either churches or nonprofits. That's where they go to work every day, primarily in minority neighborhoods or other disadvantaged neighborhoods across the city.
It's really been quite remarkable to see how law enforcement is beginning to have a greater presence on the north side. I also have seen them engaging our community a lot more.
They have exhausted countless hours working with residents, community leaders, to establish, our great needs here in our community.
Although good things are happening within the department, it still faces critical budgetary issues.
I look at how much revenue our city brings in from our property taxes. It's not enough money to fund the police department. And I know citizens don't like to pay taxes. None of us do. But we are not a well-funded police department. If you just go on the internet and if you Google our city, if you Google Texas, top cities with the most crime in the state of Texas, Amarillo is going to generally be on that list. When we have a crime rate and a traffic accident rate as high as we do, but yet we're leaving officers that we have already authorized, but we don't bring enough money in to bring them in, then, we do need to show, in my view, as a community, more of a commitment to public safety. Every single council member we have come over and wanted to understand what are our needs and what are our priorities. But again, our problems are bigger than the aid that we're getting.
I can tell you from the fire department's perspective, and I think this is citywide, is that our budgets are so tight that it's difficult to provide the service we provide and that we're expected to provide. Operating budgets haven't gone up in years, and the cost of maintaining these trucks, equipment, facilities, and just taking care of our people is not where it should be. I've been able to do 10 advanced EMS or paramedic classes, 10 people through the class each year, and I'm only going to do it next year because the cost of providing the class and the overtime to do it is too high. So one thing we are doing is we're pursuing a national accreditation with this fire department, and we'll be one of the few departments in the state of Texas that are nationally accredited. So we have discussed with council the needs that we have, and I think they understand the shortfalls we're having and are looking to address them. But longer term, this department needs to grow with the city as it grows, and so we'll need to add some stations and people in the coming years. In spite of the budgetary constraints, these people are always out there serving the public and making the good choices and delivering the service that we expect and require of them. They're committed to serving the public. That's what they took on when they came here, and it's a career-long commitment.
One of the greatest challenges facing the new city commission is properly funding all city services and increase revenue while keeping tax rates low.
Property tax as a revenue source for the general fund is our second largest source of revenue. Our property taxes are 2 pieces. There's maintenance and operating, and there's debt service. Our maintenance and operating piece is a revenue source that comes into the general fund, just over $39 million. We didn't increase the tax rate for the maintenance and operating, but we saw an increase in values, and we saw new values come on the tax roll. So we recognized we had about $1.5 million in increased revenue for the general fund. As a government, we are very much reliant on sales tax dollars. Sales tax make up about $55 million of our revenue. The other thing sales tax does when it's increasing is it allows us to keep those very conservative property tax rates. Now, one thing talking about sales tax, we have seen a flattening. For this current year we just ended, we did see just under a 1% decrease in sales tax dollars. 1% on our sales tax is $500,000. So economic development, increasing sales tax within the city is very important.
The AEDC and the Board of Directors is very focused on programs that escalate the entire community, brings in the new types of jobs and new capital investment that everybody wins with.
With economic development comes the importance of educating our local workforce. Education is one of the 6 pillars that has the most impact on the future of the local economy. But right now, almost 3/4 of the city's adult population does not have the advanced education that helps attract new business to Amarillo.
Our economy is tied to education attainment. And for every 10% you can increase education attainment, you get a 22% increase in GDP. The things that keep me up at night are knowing that we have opportunities to bring companies here, but we lose them because we don't have the skilled workforce already in place. And we have data that says when we can educate our students locally, meaning they start at Amarillo College or West Texas A&M, they're much more likely to stay in this community, to raise their families, to purchase a home, and to work. But if we let those students escape to do college somewhere else, we rarely get them back.
What all that means is all of us involved in the education enterprise need to target programs that create economic development and economic growth for the Texas Panhandle. The relationship between Amarillo ISD, Canyon ISD, Amarillo College, and West Texas A&M University create the perfect synergy for the growth of educational opportunity.
We learned from our visits with Bell Helicopter that their desires to employ students from this area, people who've grown up in this culture, is valuable to them because they want to remain in this culture.
What we should do is expect, encourage, motivate, prod, pull, do everything we can to make sure that the scholars in our city know that there are high-level jobs, careers waiting for them.
If we can move our education attainment levels from 70% with no education to 60%, then we open ourselves up to companies that target technologies and even, you know, like auto body, diesel mechanics that require an elevated education level than just low-skill manual labor.
But what we also need are white-collar workers who can grow and manage local companies with a national and global footprint.
Education today has so much more opportunity in what their futures of our kids can look like. But at the same time, we want to make sure our kids, they're pursuing a skill of interest, an area of interest that they can get connected with in this community, because there's so much opportunity before us.
City leaders also recognize the importance of enhancing day-to-day communication with citizens.
The citizens are our customers, they are our bosses, they are everything to us. We're working with organization-wide training programs on customer service. We can do better with customer service in our utility billing, and we want to make sure that we can shrink those wait times as much as possible. We had the errors a couple of years ago where we were averaging out bills, and there was a lot of concern among the community about the accuracy of the bill and a lack of confidence in the accuracy of their bill. We're looking at a number of ways to address that. One of the things we're looking at is we're evaluating automated meter reading systems. The City Council has entrusted me with a great deal of responsibility, and our community have too by proxy. I take my job very seriously. There's nothing more serious than handling the tax dollars of our community and of our residents.
Finally, city leaders encourage you to get involved. Join the mindset that our challenges are opportunities, and together we can get it done.
We all have an opportunity and a place to where we can participate in making our city better with the improvements that we're doing. We just don't want to sit by and say, I wish, I wish, I wish. We can be that person. We can take that ownership. Civic pride, that's what it's about. It's about all of us working together.
It resonates with me that we talk about having a get-her-done spirit. The spirit of Amarillo is about rolling up your sleeves to get things done. We want to help our neighbors, so we volunteer in nonprofits. We want to have a better community, so we volunteer to help beautify our community. We have Hands on Amarillo, which is really a great, again, relatively new enterprise designed to match volunteers with nonprofits that need them and to match their interests. So if you say to Hands on Amarillo, I'd like to work in the medical field, Hands on Amarillo would be a great opportunity to match the organization that needs that expertise with volunteers who have those skills.
One of the things we really want to do is encourage citizens to participate, and whether that's through philanthropy or through donating your time through volunteerism or getting involved in city government. And we have a lot of ways that citizens can get involved through boards and commissions. Working in a municipality, it brings together a diverse group of people. Everybody that I've come across in the short time that I've been here is just a true servant. They want to do great, they want to help people, and they really want to make Amarillo a great place to live.
We are truly a city that is working together for the good and for progress and for our future.
We have great opportunity in front of us, and it's right there for us to grab it. I'm excited about the future.